This is episode 2 of WOT Pod. This is Matt.
And this is Lauren.
So we are covering chapters 5 through 10 of The Eye of the World. So chapter 5, Winter Night, was when shit really started to hit the fan. So what did you think about chapter 5, Lauren?
It was crazy, when all those Trollocs came and started wrecking shit, It was
Killing the sheep.
killing all the sheep and a cow.
And the cow.
And yeah, it was
And the Narg. What's your opinion on Narg?
Narg.
Yeah.
He's a little bit.
He's
He's
soft in the head.
special.
He's soft in the head.
Yeah, but not in his heart.
No.
No.
No, he's not. He was trying to save him. He was like, I tell you about Murdroll. He helped you, right?
Okay, yeah, but he still tried to hurt him.
Oh yeah. It was all an act. But
Exactly.
I like Narg. I think he's top 5 characters in real time. He didn't last long, but his impression was very big on the community. I mean, the Daily Trolloc, the Narg. Yep. Taking pictures of the set. So chapter 5 was good.
Yeah, it was. Wow.
Oh wait, how do you feel about Tam? Tam first. Let's talk about how Tam was like he's experienced this stuff. He was like looking around the farm. Remember when they got back?
It was weird.
He was like, "Oh, I just can tell the signs, right?" So then he was like scouting around the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, my question is, I know it probably dives deeper into this plot line throughout the story, but how does he know what to do?
Tam?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been several hints, right? Remember chapter 6? I mean, we'll talk about Ben, but he's had experience in warfare and stuff.
Yeah, because he talks about things weird fever dreams.
Weird words you don't understand in this fever dream state.
Very strange.
So yeah, then he has a heron marked sword in his chest.
Yes.
That he never takes out, but he took it out because he thought something would happen, and sure enough,
it definitely did.
something. Were you surprised that happened right away? That the Trollocs just barged in?
Well, at first I was really confused because I thought it was just one of the
At first, one of his farm, one of the neighbors. That's what they said. Yeah.
But then he was he had a weird face, and I was like, oh.
You say you got the ram's horns.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's not normal. And they started fighting, and I was like, what in the world's going on?
Yeah.
But
and they started making retarded noises, and then you're like, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
And they crawling through the windows.
Very
and then,
interesting.
So the Murdroll didn't even show up at the farm, right? It was just the Trollocs. So yeah. So they found. So yeah, but about the heron marked sword, that's you got to the part right where Lan sees it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's rare to see that in the boondocks, countryside.
In the farmlands.
Yeah. In the middle of nowhere. So yeah, so that's a mystery how he got that. So then we'll go on to chapter 6, Out of the Woods. What'd you feel about that? He's basically trying to drag Tam, and Tam is having he's having an acid trip or something, or a fever dream. And he had to yeah.
Okay, but is he adopted? Right.
That's what it looks like, isn't it?
It is. But
well, his wife is Carrie, right? Or no, or his mom's Carrie.
Yeah.
And Tam's wife is Carrie, that's right? It's Carrie, right? I think it is. Okay. So yeah, so you're saying how they flooded over the dragon wall, right? And what do you think he was talking about? What army was he talking about? When he was having the fever dream, and they all died he said they all died for Lamin's pride.
I don't know.
Lamin was a Kirheen, that's how I say it. It's a city, and that's what got burned down. A lot of the city got burned down during the Aiel War, 20 years ago. That's what he's talking about. The Aiel, remember?
Yes.
And who does Rand look like?
Rand?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the Aiel, they flooded over the they burned down Kirheen because Lamin, in the past, I don't know if it was 100 years ago or something like that, they sent Avian to Sora, which is the tree.
What is his name?
The tree. I don't know. Is it the tree of life? Is that what they call it?
I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that. But like, yeah, the Ogier, we're obsessed with it. They're like, oh, it's the tree of life. They like worship it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're very gentle giants. If you don't know that about the Ogier, they're like Shrek. Like Shrek,
Oh, no.
Shrek never does anything wrong. They're basically Shrek. A bunch of Shreks. They live in a swamp.
That's scary.
They live. Well, they're settings, but they're pretty much. That's what they call them. But they're like little forests or swampy areas. So they're green. So I'm assuming they're Shrek.
Yeah, they're definitely Shrek. They're
So
Shrek's ancestors.
yeah, or his descendants.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Well, sure it is. So they all died. So Laman was the king of Karheen, and he's an idiot. He cut down the tree that the Aiel gave him as a peace offering. Like, okay, we're gonna fuck everything up. We're gonna burn down your city because you cut down the damn tree. So I don't know. I don't know why he cut down the tree, but like that was a mistake on his
really
part.
Stupid of him. Like, what made him decide to cut down a tree of life?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's weird. So they did that, and then was that the end of the fever dream? There's more. He said a lot of shit.
He said a lot. Yeah.
He said a lot. Yeah. So like Rand was reminiscing on like eating the mayor's wife's cakes. Like he wants to be not being chased by Murdral and Trollocs. And then his dad just starts freaking out. You saying how like it is called the Tree of Life. Yeah, I was right. And the Green Man. The stories of the Green Man are connected to the Tree of Life. Now maybe the Green Man is Shrek.
I think he might be because he's green.
Yeah.
Shrek is green.
They're talking about the Ogier, and the Ogier look like
ogres.
Wait, it's Shrek and Ogre, right?
Yes.
Wait a minute. But this is before Shrek.
Okay, so
maybe Shrek. Yeah, maybe Shrek. No, it was written before Shrek, right? Because Shrek came out in like 2000.
Yeah. So that's what they got Shrek from.
Yeah.
What if they're all in the same universe? So
they are all in the same universe?
Yeah, so the Ogiers.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ancestors.
Like, because Shrek pulls from like real fairy tale history, right, of our past, like Brothers Grimm and all that. Like, and that was like in the 1800s. So that's like the Age of Legends, right? So that's their past.
Yeah.
So this is like, it's all connected. That's insane.
Wow.
And then Tam makes some badass quotes. He's like, battles are always hot, even in the snow. Sweat heat, blood heat, only death is cool.
Yeah.
Tam is a badass.
Yeah. Even when he's
and then this is the part I don't understand. So I guess he ran away from a battle, and then he went to the. Right after I say he's badass, I say he runs away from the battle.
He's a coward.
He's not a coward. No, yeah, he's both. I'm a Tam fan. I'm a Tam fan.
That's funny.
The woman, yeah, he's saying how the Aiel, the women, fight alongside the men. Kind of like.
Yes.
What does that sound like? Anything you?
Yes, in chapter.
No. I was gonna say it. Connect like Game of Thrones, the Wildlings.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of like that. Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between Aiel and the Wildlings. Yeah. But the Aiel are like desert people. Right.
Oh, that's a difference.
Yeah. But they're all ginger, so it doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't really make much sense.
Okay.
So yeah, Carrie, he finds a child, which assumed to be Rand.
But is it actually?
So who else would it be? Is it like Loki, or a Loki situation where Thor finds an elf in the Frost Giant's lair? Because he said the baby was blue with cold, so maybe he's Loki. So maybe Loki is involved.
Oh my God.
We're getting into some deep theories, some like loony theories, but that's what the fun of this is. So Carrie, she's like, okay, can you take Loki? And he's like, yeah, I guess. Loki might or might not be Rand, so we're going with that. So then Rand loses his shit. He's like, oh my God, am I Loki?
Okay, but Rand isn't blue.
He's blue with a cold. That's what it was. So it was just dying of, but it didn't die. That's weird how the baby didn't die if it was freezing.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little weird? I don't know.
Very weird.
I don't know. But then he sees the Murdral, and the Murdral seems to look right at him. He's like, oh, I see you. I'm gonna get you. And then he's just like, and then he just stands still, and then the Murdral's like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna go back to the farm. So he just makes a weird retarded scream, and then he runs away.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the end of that. And then he's like, oh, he's trying to convince himself that Tam is his father, as he eventually, we lead into chapter 7.
where they find out that the village.
Actually, no. That chapter 6 was not out of the woods. Chapter 6 was the Westwood. Chapter 7 is out of the woods. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, out of the woods is chapter 7 because they were in the woods in the Westwood. That was chapter 6. So now they're out of the woods. Chapter 7. They get. He's like, oh, I get to see the two rivers again.
Oh, yeah,
and then he sees this burning down.
It's like people are dying.
Now, so we forgot something. So, the farm. Do you think they should? There's a theory that they will not go back to the farm for winter night. That the attack will all be just at the town. Now, if you had to choose, would you rather see just the farm being attacked in the TV show or the town?
Oh, you're talking about the TV show?
Yeah. I'm going back to chapter.
Well, why
these
can't they
chapters.
just do both?
Just cut it back and forth. That's what they should do.
Because that's what it.
Yeah, but they're saying to save time, it might make more sense for them to have. But then
There's no plot point.
Yeah, because then you don't find out about his fever dreams.
Exactly.
And his sword.
And he also doesn't make the.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I want to see the village attacked in the show. Like I want to see I think it will happen that's not what happens in the book. You see the aftermath, right? In chapter 7, they go like a moraine. I called down lightning. Land was like in 10 places at once, killing fools. That's what I'm saying. I want to see that in the show.
But also, Rand took down a troll.
That was a weird way he killed the Trolloc, because he put both his hands by his side, right? And then, and then the Trolloc got you, and then he somehow stabs him.
That was very strange.
So I didn't understand that. Maybe the editor should have taken a closer look. Oh, I haven't told you that the editor for the book was his wife. So there's a little bit of a bias. That's why there's so much description in these books. Because, right? The editor of the author's book was his wife.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he probably
That's
go to someone that's not biased?
I mean, yeah, I like the books. I like the description, but some people might not like it.
So what is
Like you don't like the dreams.
The dreams are stupid.
All right, we'll get to that later. So yeah, the village is burning down. Half the village is burning down, to be exact, because they targeted whose houses? Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was all the people who was the same age as Rand.
Who?
So Matt and the Parith.
Parith. Parith. Matt and Parith.
The Parith.
Yeah, and Perrin.
Perrin.
And his. How do you get Parith out of Perrin?
I don't know. And the blacksmith.
Yeah, because he's the blacksmith's apprentice, right?
Yes.
So yeah, blacksmith, and the blacksmith's wife is a badass too. She's like, if these Trollocs come back, I'm gonna kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and then so he sees a queen, and she's like trying to help everybody. And then Nineveh is in the Calder house where they're trying to heal everybody.
Yes.
And she comes out, and he tries to get her to heal his dad, and she literally doesn't even try, really.
Yeah, no.
That's like, I'm like, I got kissed. I was like, when I first read that, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I know, it was so weird. She literally just looked at him and said, yeah, I can't help
She didn't even use her powers, I don't think. She ran her hand over his face. She's like, yeah, you gone. So she didn't really.
That was weird.
I mean, maybe she could sense it. I don't know. Yeah, that might have been it, right?
I still thought it was rude.
Right? I mean, I like how they're burning all the Trollocs, like the horses are bringing the Trollocs to the Beltane fires. And that's what they're using them for, just to burn the Trollocs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty badass. But I want to see the actual attack on the show. Like I said,
yeah.
I feel like that would be awesome, which I think they'll do. So she doesn't heal him, and then he decides, okay, I guess I can take him to the mayor, and the mayor will try to convince her, right?
Yes.
So that doesn't really work out. But then the mayor mentions that Aes Sedai, that Moiraine's in Aes Sedai, and that her warder, Lan, are killing fools, and that maybe she can help heal Tam. But then Tom's like, oh, I don't trust Aes Sedai. I don't trust them. And then he's like, yeah, it's either better. It's like a double-edged sword, right? If he has help from Aes Sedai, he can bite you in the ass.
Why is that, though? Why are they so
Because they don't, right? Because, they're secretive. That's the only, right now, as we are in the books, that's the only explanation I can come up with.
Yeah.
Other than they have the one power, people don't trust the one power because that's what caused the breaking of the world. So they think that maybe they think the women can go bad too. I don't know, like the men.
Maybe.
So you find out that Moraine's trying to help. So when Rand goes to get Moraine, and he finds out that she's been trying to help everybody, but not many people want her help.
Mm-hmm.
But when she does help somebody, like she heals, fine. Like that's her. She's powerful in the one power. So then he's like, okay, can you help my dad? And she's like, yes, I'll go with you to the Wine Spring Inn. And then she's like walking really slow because it's a toll on her. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Like it like drains her other like capabilities, right? The more one power she uses, so there's a limit. It's like how each person is powerful in the one power. Like she's not even the most powerful. Like really, she's just kind of powerful. She's a normal one. Yeah, she's definitely a normal one. She's not like the upper echelon of Aes Sedai, right? There's others that are more powerful.
We haven't gotten there in the story.
Yeah. And then Lan mentions that the Trollocs were in the Cabal clan. Cabal. It's Kobal. It sounds like the Cabal, but yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. So then he brings her to the inn, and then that brings us to chapter 8, a place of safety. So this wasn't my favorite chapter.
It wasn't?
No.
Why not?
I mean, it was needed. This was an episode title of episode 3, a place of safety. So I found out maybe the chapter titles aren't based on like the episodes. Like it's not going to show where you are in the story. It's just going to be like a hint.
That's weird.
So yeah, so she gets back to the inn. She heals she heals Tam, and then Lan notices his sword, as I've already mentioned. He's like, why do you have that? He's like, oh, I don't know. Dad gave it to me. So what did you feel about chapter 8? Oh wait, she mentions that the Trolloc, the axe, or whatever, any weapon from a Trolloc, like it was forged in Shayal Ghul, right? And there's a taint. There's a taint tied to each weapon in the valley called Thakandar.
Is this where she like spouts like all her stories?
No, that's next chapter. Right? Yeah, that's next chapter.
Wait, so what is this?
Chapter 8 is when
this is where she
heals them, and then they're talking, right? Yeah. And then she mentions how chapter 8. She also mentions how Matt's house was attacked. Perrin's farm was attacked. Everything was attacked. All 3 of their houses were attacked. Rand, Matt, and Perrin. And so then she says, okay, because you're all around the same age, you're all born around the same time. So the Dark One is looking for one or all of you, because there's something in either each one of you or one of you that has the ability
it's Rand.
Really?
Yeah, it's Rand, because he's like the main character.
I mean, because it's only from his point of view right now.
Yeah, right now. So I think it's
Rand. Yeah, okay. And there's the other hand, would it be like, because he doesn't know who his parents are?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he might come from some weird ancestry. We don't know yet.
Yeah. Maybe. Haven't gotten there yet. So they talk about how they all got attacked, and then Rand's like, why weren't the other kids attacked, right? Because like he mentions some of the other villagers who were around the same age, but they were born like months apart. Mm-hmm. She's like, no, they weren't after that. They're after you 3. So that kind of narrows it down. In the show, I'm just gonna say right now, they might be making the 3 that I'm not gonna say.
You have to say that.
Okay, so it's supposed to be 5 that they're after, including Egwene and Nynaeve. So yeah, it'd be.
Wait, whoa.
So that changes the whole story. That's the one I got a little confused.
They're not the same age.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I don't know, because in the description of the show, they're like, Moraine tries to get all of them and have them leave because she thinks the Dark One's after all of them. So it could be out of those 5 kids or young adults, really, it could be one of them. So it could be any of those 5. right? So I thought that was weird. I don't know if
They should definitely not.
that's just kind of confused people. Maybe it's just trying to be more PC. I don't know. Because like there's no girls originally, like in the what who they were after.
Yeah, but then she decided to go with them.
You mean a queen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't go with them. In the Ave, no. She's still in the village, right?
Yeah,
At the end
she's
of,
the wisdom.
yeah, she has to stay there.
Yeah,
So it's weird.
Yeah, but then Aviv or
Egwene.
Egwene.
She catches him. That's chapter 10.
Yeah.
She's saying how I thought that was funny. She's like Matt was trying to sneak her out.
Yeah, no.
Like Hunch and Perrin.
Like of course he was. Only him. And then Perrin holding that big.
He's like holding it like this. I was imagining he was like holding it above his head. He's like walking out, like trying to sneak in. He's crouched down behind a bush and you see an axe hanging above his head.
Yes, very smart.
Yeah. And then Matt with his bow and arrow, he's like crouching down, like.
And Matt's like, this isn't a real weapon.
No, Lan says it is a real weapon.
Yeah, Lan was like, no, it's a real weapon. He was like, no, it's not.
Wait, Matt doesn't say that.
Yes, he did. Matt said that a bow and arrow is not a real weapon.
He's the one using the bow and arrow.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think.
Because he's jealous that the other have the weird axe and the sword.
Yeah, you're probably right. So we'll go back to chapter 8, right? So she heals Tam, and then Rand falls asleep, and then this leads into chapter 9, your favorite chapter, Tellings of the Wheel, where the first half of the chapter is Rand having a fever dream, because that's the new thing is to have fever dreams. But this one, the fever dream is just visions, right? It's not even stuff that's happened. He goes to, I think Tarvalon's one of them. Well, first he goes to.
It was definitely Tarvalon. Tarvalon not that.
Tarvalon, you don't like Tarvalon? That's where the Isadai. That's where the place of safety is. That's where they gotta go.
It's fine, but I do not like the dream sequence.
Why not? So he trips out. You don't like the first part where he goes to the where all the Trollocs were created, and the forges, and then the guy with the red face shows up. He's like, "You're mine." He flies out of the sky.
That was very strange, and how they kept on saying.
Who do you think that is? You think it's just a dark one?
Maybe.
It's like a vision of the dark one.
Maybe or like one of his henchmen.
Oh, you mean the Forsaken? We haven't gotten there yet, but I would say the villains in the Wheel of Time are some of the best villains in fantasy. Yeah, they do some dark shit. Yeah, like Ramsay level or worse.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't think
he gets dark.
I don't think you could like get darker than a Ramsay.
Yeah, you can. So yeah, he goes to Shale Ghul. Then is it Camelin or is it Tarvalon?
I think it's Tarvalon.
It's either both because like they're throwing petals at him, like all the girls are dancing around him.
It's definitely Tarvalon.
You think it's Tarvalon? You think the Aes Sedai are the girls?
Yes.
All the witches are all dancing around him.
Worshipping him.
Why? Why would you think that?
Because I think he has a bigger role.
You think he's seeing the future?
Yes.
So do you think? What do you think? Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Okay. Like, what kind of role do you think he has? How would they?
He becomes like an all-powerful being.
What, like?
And he becomes like a famous warrior thing.
A warrior thing?
Against the Dark One.
So,
and then everyone else is like, oh my god, like fangirling over him.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
I mean, I'm not going to confirm or deny it. But the merge all. So the whole place of safety, that's what they're leaving. They're all going to leave. All three of them are going to leave the two rivers.
All four of them now.
Oh, yeah, wait. Right.
Yeah.
And Tom. Tom joins them.
Oh, yeah.
He's hiding in the loft. How do you forget about Tom?
We forgot about Tom.
He's hiding.
We were talking about how they didn't trust Tom.
Did they?
Yeah, and then in like a chapter
chapter 10.
No, like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll chapter 10.
I don't know. But then he showed up and I was like, oh my god.
No, wait, let's get that later. That's later. We're only 25 minutes into this. We only got 2 chapters left. We're going by fast.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing, I guess. It means you can fit more chapters in each podcast. If you go at the right pace. And we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I mean, other than, like, the show, like, how long would each thing take? So the farm, if you do a cutaway to the farm, I'd say it takes 7 minutes. No, yeah. Oh, because then, including the woods, I'm going through the woods, probably like 15 minutes. I don't know, actually, that's a long time. 10 minutes. I'm going to say 10 minutes for everything. And then the village attack, maybe 5 minutes.
I think longer because it's gonna be like a big action thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's like about this in the show. Perrin supposedly has a wife
What?
in the Two Rivers, like at the start.
No.
Layla Avara.
No, that's not right.
And supposedly she's gonna die, and like that's gonna be why he leaves. That just changes everything, though.
They're changing this plot line.
Because like Perrin, I don't know if it mentions
they
it.
want to put new things in, but they're like changing.
There's already enough characters. That tell you how there's. I looked this up recently. There's 2,760 some characters, and they want to add more. they want to add more characters. So they're biting off more than they can chew. I think at this point, that's a lot.
So
it's double the amount of the Song of Ice and Fire, like Game of Thrones. Like in the books, there's literally double the amount of characters. I think the only series that has a beat is Malazan, and that's only 10 books. Like this, but literally every character you know, like at the end of the book, like in the series. That's why I love the series. They like all play a role. Like even like random side characters, like you got like, you know,
like Lan.
Like who?
Lan.
Lan's not a random. Okay, he's more prominent than like. You call Lan a side character? Lan's a badass.
He is a badass.
What's your opinion on Lan?
He's an interesting guy.
How he's like stone cold. He doesn't,
yeah.
And then every 5 seconds he lets something through. He's like starts yelling at somebody, and then he's all cool again when you look back around. What I think happens is he probably is. When Rand's looking at him, he's probably keeping up like a cool exterior. Like when Rand turns around, he's probably like glowering at him.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the things. Like warders have like less emotions. That's like a thing. Like dampens their emotions. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not gonna do that. That's why he's like that. Oh yeah, and do you have an opinion on Moiraine? I mean, we're gotten that point. I mean, I could talk about. So he goes through all the dreams and the place of safety where he's the whole reason all three of them are supposed to leave the Two Rivers is go to Tarvalon. And the dream, he goes into Tarvalon, and if there's a merge wall, that's the thing that's chasing them is where the place of safety is. So what do you feel about that? Interesting. He's like, what would he say? He's like, we have been waiting for you.
Do you think she is leading him?
You think Moiraine's is like a secret agent of the Dark One?
She might be. Yeah. No one trusts her.
No one trusts her. Oh, well, then she gave him the Two Rivers a pep talk, and that kind of made everybody feel like they're a badass.
Wasn't even a pep talk, is what we just heard.
She wasn't really a pep talk. It was just her shitting on them, actually.
Yeah.
She's like, you guys are used to the Aemon's blood. Game of Thrones name, by the way. Aemon Targaryen at the wall. Yeah. There's another John was in there too, like the way he's from Game of Thrones. John Thane, the Miller.
Mm-hmm.
He's like leading that guy's like leading a watch. I thought that was funny. They're all out of beat. They're all trying to march in chapter 10.
No.
They're all marching out of beat. I thought that was hilarious. And Lan's like, oh, at least they can see something coming.
Yeah.
That's all they're good for. So Tam wakes up after the dream sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, Rand tells him he's leaving, and then Tam's like, you gotta go. Like, you're not as safe here as you are with the Aes Sedai. So he trusts Moiraine, right? He thinks Tarvalon. So he either has been to Tarvalon or he knows about Tarvalon. Like, he trusts Tam.
I feel like
trusts Tarvalon, like the Aes Sedai.
Because he's been through the war.
You've probably seen Aes Sedai in action.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So they end up, Matt and Tom, is it? They show up and they're like, and Land's like, oh, we gotta leave. And then they go down to the bottom of the Wine Spring Inn, whatever. And then they like spy on Moiraine, and she uses the one power, and she's like, spouting this badass story, how Two Rivers used to be Manetheren. Is that how I'm gonna say it? Manetheren. That's how I think it's called. And then she's like Aemon and Eldrine, as that his queen. But they were like badasses, right? And they held off the Dark One's forces for 10 days, and eventually no help was coming, and they all died. And then you find out the king's wife, the queen, she uses the one power to destroy all of the forces and drive them away, and then lead them all to other nations to get slaughtered. And then in doing that, she burned herself up. So that's what happened to Lucerne. Remember in the prologue, he used too much of the one power. He literally blew himself up. It's like an atomic bomb or something, and that destroyed the mountain. I guess these two rivers used to be in a mountain. That's what it was, a mountain city, right?
Yeah.
Because Ogier, they like, oh, look at this impressive. They're stonemasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Shreks. We'll call them Shreks. Shreks of this world. They build stuff. They're really good builders. That's what they do. And they were impressed. Even they were impressed by the Manetheren. So they were a very important like city back then. You know, the Sherlock Wars. So what do you feel about like the history and all that? Do you think that was interesting?
It was interesting, yeah.
And how do you feel like it compares to the Two Rivers now?
Okay, well now they're a bunch of cowards.
I think they're cowards. No, they're stubborn. I mean, they're not cowards.
Stubborn.
They're like, we're gonna go. How's that being coward? How is that being cowards? You mean just like Sendui and the Coplans are yelling at her to leave? Even though she healed Sendui's arm, remember that?
They're very stubborn people, and I feel like they just don't know.
Because they haven't seen battle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, I love this chapter. And then so they leave the inn, and then we head into chapter 10, leave taking. Now, how'd you like chapter 9? Let's go.
It was good.
Yeah, except for the dreams.
I didn't like the dreams, but everything else was really good. I liked how she talked about their history.
Okay.
That was interesting.
There are gonna be more dreams, but you're gonna have to read them, like, because they're important. Like, they're really important, especially in this book. It's not really a spoiler, but like, if he falls asleep and the next chapter starts, it's probably a dream. That's usually how it is. Like, it leads in, yeah. So, leave taking. That is the name of the first episode. So I'm assuming it ends here. This is the last. It makes sense, right? Whole first episode, they're in the Two Rivers. Maybe cut away to Logain. Remember him? The false dragon that Pat Fane was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention Pat Fane, that he died. Right? Remember? They're like, oh, he disappeared. Like he got ran out of the village, and then they didn't see him. So he's assumed dead. He's assumed dead right now, right?
Huh. He's probably not.
You don't think he's dead?
I don't believe if you don't see someone die and they're
that's true. If you don't see their corpse.
Yeah.
So then they leave the inn, and then Perrin was just sitting outside, like scouting for anybody to see if they leave, because I guess by this time it's night. And they end up. They eventually end up leaving, but before that, they're like talking about their weapons, right? So Matt has a bow and arrow. Rand, everybody's like, oh, you have a heron-marked sword, Rand? And then he's like, yeah. He's about to take it out and like show it off. And then Land is like, nah. And then Perrin's axe. So right now, who do you think's the best fighter? That might be good. Before even seeing, I mean, right now Rand's the only one who's killed a Trolloc.
Yeah, so you could definitely argue that he's the best one.
Yeah.
So obviously it's him at the moment, even though he literally didn't fight it. And
it was like an accident. He's like, oh, I guess I stabbed it. How did that happen?
Yeah, so I don't know. Because I don't think anyone else has fought him yet.
I mean, I think in the show, like, don't have, like, Perrin. Because, like, he's a big guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have him, like, fight Trolloc. I don't know.
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, true.
So.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's a show. Yes. But, you know. And then they're talking about how Matt doesn't trust Aes Sedai, right?
Yeah.
But
the thing is, he was all for adventure.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, this isn't like the stories. And the parents like, you idiot, this is like, the Trollocs is literally exactly like the stories. So I don't know where he got that idea. Yeah, I guess so. He'd probably be like a luxury chariot or whatever. Like, Matt's probably like the most laid back of everybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to really put any effort.
Yeah, even though he's the one who wanted this to happen, basically.
Yeah. So then the queen shows up and scares the boys half to death. And she's like, oh, I found you guys sneaking around. And then it's like, what were they sneaking around for? Like, how were they sneaking?
I don't know.
Were they just like trying to hide behind?
They probably were. They're probably
I'm trying to picture. I wonder how they're gonna show that in the show.
conspicuous.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be funny in the show when they show that.
Hilarious.
So Lan is very much against Lan, Rand, Matt. They're all very much against her going, and Lan's like, oh, she's not needed, and nor she might be a hindrance. And then Moraine's like, oh, it's already in the pattern, right? So how do you feel about that? So Moraine's like, oh, she can go. Like this is already, it's all part of the plan of the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think she has a role to play?
I mean, obviously she does.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, why else would she be leaving with them?
Exactly.
And then Rand's like, oh, I don't want to have to watch after you. And she's like, maybe I'll watch after you.
Yeah, because she wanted to be a wisdom.
All right, so she has an affinity for, like, the One Power already. Yeah, did we mention how, like, what gender is better at what using the One Power?
No.
All right, that's talked about later. Yeah, we won't talk about that right now. So they leave, but before leaving, Tom shows up, right? Yeah, he's like hiding in the rafters. And he drops down. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna join this party."
God, you know, so random.
So do you like Tom? Is your opinion on Tom approved, or you still think he's?
I think he's very suspicious.
So you think he's like a dark friend, right? Is that what you think?
No.
No, is that why would be suspicious? Then that's like. Is either somebody's suspicious because he's a dark friend, because he's working for the Dark One?
No, I just think he's an inconspicuous guy.
Why? Just the comments he made?
Yes, just the comments. He's very strange. And I don't like that he hangs out in the horse stables all the time.
Yeah, what's he doing in the horse stables? Why wasn't he staying in the inn? Did they talk about that? Or is he just... I guess he's trying to get room for free. Yeah, maybe he's just trying to get free room and board. He's a very smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
It's still very strange.
Yeah.
That sets off a red alarm for me.
Does it?
Really
okay. So they leave. They start leaving the Two Rivers, but as they're leaving, they see John Thane. He's leading a group of like a really poorly designed like militia, right?
Yeah.
So they're all like marching out of stuff. And so at least the Two Rivers is now since they've had Trolloc attacks, they're now aware that shit can hit the fan. It's because they weren't like this before. They didn't carry around like weapons to use and patrol the area, but now they kind of have to, right? Like just in case, even though everything's already half burned down. So then they see something in the sky.
Yeah.
The Drakkar. Sounds very much like a dragon, doesn't it?
It does.
But it's the size of a human. Remember that? Yeah, she's like is as big as a man. Yeah. It's not that big, really. It's like a mini dragon. Yeah. The bat.
Oh, it's a bat dragon.
Bat dragon, bat human dragon, Batman dragon.
Batman.
It's 3 hybrids. Man bat.
Man
bat's a villain in Batman. We can call him Man Bat. The Drakkar or Men Bat. How do you say that? Men Bats. I don't know. But they see that, so now you got Trollocs, you got Fades, or Murder All.
Honestly,
have you found out there's a lot of different names for one thing?
Yes.
Found that out?
But she's like, they all.
You think they'll use like the easier words in the show?
Yes.
You think so? Murder All is pretty badass. If they use that.
I like that.
I like that name.
Because that's what they focus on, is the Murder.
Yeah. The Drakkar. That's what the bat is. So the Drakkar, the Dark One, has scouts looking out for him. And they end up leaving, and that's the end of leaf taking, and probably the end of the first episode, I'd assume. So, based off, so this is better in the first 4 chapters, you think?
Oh yes.
All right, so you think like the first episode will be good? You think it'll keep everybody's attention?
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, really, like, some people think that they're gonna stay in the Two Rivers longer because they've cast they cast a lot of people for the Two Rivers. Like, Matt's whole family was casted, like, and there's, like, announcements for each of these people, like, individual announcements. But the blacksmith wasn't cast, I don't think.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I think Egwene's dad, the mayor, is cast.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But they didn't say it was him. So that's weird. Some of the casting is, like, they say who it is, but then sometimes they don't say who it is. They're like, oh, you'll find out. It's so weird. I don't know why they do that. And there's been a lot of fear that some of the characters are being cut, but supposedly they aren't. I mean, we can go into that later, because like that really doesn't involve the first section. But yeah, so that's so you like leave taking that chapter 10?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, any more thoughts on this whole section of the?
It's
They leave the two rivers. They're done with two rivers for now.
for now.
Yeah, yeah, because they leave.
Well, I think that it was a lot more stuff going on than the first
I mean,
five.
because you need to like set up the characters first,
Yeah,
right?
of course. So
I can't wait to get to the next few chapters. So much shit happens.
This is the start.
The real start,
Yeah.
right? That's what you see like fantasy books. Like it doesn't really start till 100 pages in.
Yeah.
But yeah, now you're there. So
It's good.
yeah. All right. That is the end of this podcast. Next time we'll cover 5 or 6 more chapters. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, about that.
I'll see you guys